Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And another one. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Like a mother. Smack at it. Bye-ya. I said bye-ya. I said bye-ya. Orderly, as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, he fooled us all. He pulled the pinchy wool over our eyes. We didn't know. Couldn't call it like an alcoholic. All I knew was fill me up with some unleaded, man, because I said it. I had to speed off. Now, it was too late. So I was kidding. These are a couple of stories I wanted to tell about situations I found myself in, and it was just too late. In a menudo style, direct fashion, let me explain just what I mean when I say, man, de volta done. Hey, he tricked us. I said we were fool. Guard! You fooled us. Well, it's because you're a fool. Well, hey, what about you, Fulio? To what degree of Fulio? Right? Now trip out. I get to the block in Merced County Jail. Now, for those of you who have been on the block, you know what it is. Whether it be 3 block or 4 block, they switch it up sometimes. It's an active Norteño block. And when I say active Norteño block, I mean everyone there allegedly is active. They're activated. And they function, right? They're fully functioning individuals about their cause or whatever the case may be. They're fighting their cases, sitting down in the treacherous Merced County Jail. Now, I know a lot of you may think, it ain't Santa Clara or Monterey County Jail or LA County Jail. It ain't Fresno. It can't be too... It can't be too much shit. Let me explain to you the situation here. When you're on this old school block, man, you better fend for yourself. You better, and I repeat, better not have no mierda on your name. There better be nothing on your jacket because it will be exposed and the cream will rise to the top. Yeah, Mean Gene, right? And you'll be whacked. Straight up. So your best bet is to go to the block, function, maintain, do what you're told, do what you're supposed to do. Get the fuck on down the Yellow Brick Road, right to Candyland, because if you got any dirt or any smut on your name, you will be found out. Or will you? One never knows, does one. So I get to the block, which at this time it was a functioning northern block known as 4 block. And it was dangerous situations. I knew automatically I had a lot of homeboys from my barrio there. There was also a lot of homeboys that I knew just from the city, the town. But there was also a lot of people from the surrounding area, the Merced County area, that I knew. You know, when you're out there functioning, you're really out there doing it. You meet a lot of people. You greet a lot of people. And that's just the way it is. So everybody knows everybody. It's not a very big county. So those that know. Everyone knows who's the hitters, who's the quitters, who's the bullshitters, right? For the most part. But sometimes there will be individuals that are from out of different cities like San Jose, Oakland, San Fernando, that just happen to catch their case. They fell in the county. You know, they got caught at Los Baños, Dos Palos, Planada, La Grande, whatever the case may be, Livas, not necessarily Merced. So we don't know who they are. But just like anyone else, they're going to get their due process. If they're a functioning homeboy, if they're an active homeboy, they're going to get their name cross-referenced, checked. Whatever happens, I ain't going to expose too much business, but you understand what I'm saying. If they get cleared, they get cleared. If they can function, they're good. If not, so you're going out on the paddy wagon. And it's not going to be nice. Different type of paddy wagon. So anyways, when I get there, I recognize a lot of my homeboys. A lot of people that I was just functioning with, not only days prior, but we had been doing this for years and years and years. So our resume spoke for itself. Everybody knew who was about that and who wasn't. But of course, just like anyone else, no one is above the next man. Everyone must go through the same type of procedures, same type of situations, because you never know, the Walter might have flipped there, right? He might be telling all of a sudden and looking out for his own selfish intentions or whatever the case may be. So you have to go through your due process, and you need to respect that. You need to respect the foundation that was set forth and just go along with the flow. So when I get to this block, I remember I was in cell, it was 4 block. I think it was cell 3. It was filled to capacity minus 1 bed, which was mine. I get there, one of my homeboys from Oakland, I'm not going to say his name, he was well known at the time, he was actually running the block, meaning that he had the llaves, the keys to the block, he was the llavero. So he gets at me quick, he's like, hey, what's happening, shoot your paperwork, shoot whatever you have, let me go ahead and clear you real quick, I'm going to do what I got to do, bro, you'll be cleared within 24 hours. I already knew what time it was, I was just with it, but also fucking not even 2 days before, out there fucking doing our thing. So, of course, I get cleared immediately, and he goes, hey, I'm going to go ahead and give you the cell security position, which at that time within the COC was the position to have in your cell. Didn't mean nothing other than fucking I had more responsibility. Shit, I didn't even want to do. I had to do more burpees. I didn't want to do that, but here I am, Mr. Hardcore wannabe gangbanger, right? So, of course, I get right into the groove of things. The vibe is for reals. Now, there's a lot of individuals there. There was actually 3 homeboys from Sanjo, a few from Merced, one from my water who I knew quite extensively. That was the homie. We did one of these. Thinking, you know what I mean? Behind the back, we hit one of those. And it was all good. We had a secret handshake. Now, there was this one individual that was probably about 5 to 10 years older than me. He was probably at the time in his 40s. I was in my early 30s. And he was kind of a smooth character, big old whip, hair combed back, smooth. You could tell he had done some time. Just looking at him, you knew he had been around the block in the 6'4" Super Sport plenty of times, riding on flats y todo. So I quickly gravitated towards this individual. I've always been known to gravitate towards people that I can get educated from. Sklecha. You know, I'm not going to kick back with the fucking poop butt in the corner, fucking writing this old lady, can you send me $10 for canteen? That ain't my get down. I'm over here with the homeboy getting gamed up because I already knew I was on a one-way ticket to the penitentiary, right? And that's where I was going. So I need all the game that I could get, the who's who, the how's who, and the why's who, you know, the 5 W's. So anyways, I'm sitting there getting gamed up by this homeboy, and he was from Oakland. Now, you got to understand, at this time, the guy who was running the particular block I was on was also from Oakland. You'll see how that worked out for everyone, right? So when I get there, everybody in the cell's already cleared. Okay, they posted up on me, SB'd on me, made sure that I didn't have no fucking shit in my culo. After the fucking clearance process, it was all good. So I didn't question these individuals in my cell. Now, if I see something funny, bunny, if I see something weird, of course, Holmes, I would have pushed up on it real quick. But there's no reason for me to check P-Dub. There was no reason for me to do any of this. I figured these vatos are already on one of the most treacherous buildings and blocks, period, known to mankind. Then these vatos obviously, man, have went through the rigorous process of, you know, figuring out if they're good or not, and they were all cleared. So, of course, I'm chopping it up with the homeboy. I'm getting to know him, getting to know a little bit about him. He's giving me game. He had been to San Quentin on several occasions. He did his whole Santa Rita a bit. Being from Oakland, he wiggled all throughout the East Bay. And we happen to know a few of the same homeboys, man, so we're chopping it up. He was actually functioning at a high level out there in the Bay Area and found himself caught up out of Los Baños. And here he was sitting down in the Merced County Jail, and he was like, hey, it's a little bit different out here in the Valle. You Valleros are different. But I could recognize him. He was old school, throwback. You know what I mean? He wasn't on his wiggy. Nah, he wasn't on that shit. Or was he? The wind's blowing. We'll get to it, right? So I took a liking to this guy. You know, every time I got a little extra comida, or there was, you know, I got a sopitas or whatever, I made sure that I plugged him in, man. He was an OG, like I said, giving me the game, the knowledge I definitely couldn't get in college. And I respected that. And that's what you're supposed to do to your OGs. You're supposed to respect their gangster, respect what they've been through and the foundation they've set forth for you. Hey, and give them that love, man. Give them the canalismo that they so righteously, pinche, does. Guard! What? Should I be giving this guy some love? I don't know, bitch. That's on you. Well, fuck it then. Right? Menudo. So trip out, I'm giving him the righteous respect his due. And everything was good. I remember I got put in a position, man, where I had a little, I guess you would say, power. I didn't let it go to my head. This wasn't nothing new to the gun, right? This was the same old thing that happened every time I got to the county jail. Because I was who I was and the work that I put in since a young child, everyone had love for me. You know, I was being loved in the water. Now I'm hated. So that's good, the most hated, right? But I was loved. And that's what that was. Now, we went to yard sale on several occasions. I would always notice, man, that the homeboy D, who was actually the llavero I said at the time, was always in conference with this guy. They was always chopping up. I figured because they were both from Oakland, the East Bay area, man, there was a kinship there, a friendship there. It was love. And that'd be the same thing, man. If I went anywhere else and there was a homeboy from Merced, like, come here, hey, let me get at you. We're not like these other vatos, you know, it's okay. We got to stick together for power. You know, man, I fucking appreciate you, man. I know you do. What does again? Oh, fuck. Hey, this shit was fucked up. I know. Shh. You remember from Merced? You know the secret handshake? I'll teach you tonight, in the cell. Okay, don't tell nobody. This is the type of shit you're on, you know. You get a taita, you get a homeboy, you show them love. It's town love. It's you guys hit the same blocks, you know the same tiendas, you know the same bitches. You know what I mean? You grabbed on the same tortas, nalgas. I understand. So definitely, that's how it would go. So they would always be chilling. I never tripped on it. You know, it was not none of my business to go, hey, what are you guys talking about over here? So, okay, you let me in on the business. Like, I got a big old oreja. I was born with one bigger than the other to listen. What the? No, there was none of that. It was respect. Hey, if it's not my business, my name's Bennett. I definitely ain't Bennett. Now, there was a couple removals that happened in the process of me being there that I can't really speak on, but I will say this. I always noticed this vato was able to duck and dodge and never really participate in the shit. When I'm saying the guy that was in my cell, right? And I asked him, hey, what happens, bro? He's like, oh, I'm fighting a big case, bro. This case implements a lot of different people. I definitely don't want to draw any negative or unwanted attention to myself because it can fuck my whole case up. I took it at face value. I could see that. Sounds good. Hey, he was painting a fucking beautiful picture. Leonardo DiCaprio, or is it Leonardo da Vinci? I don't know. Fuck it. The Wolf of Wall Street. You know what I mean? can I get some of that pussy? Right? That's just how it was. Now, I did my time there, and I got on down the yellow brick road, and I end up in prison. Upon me ending up in prison, man, I start to get there and, get accustomed to the yard. I start to get some book subscriptions. I start to get some magazine subscriptions. I'm looking at newspapers, whatever I can get my hands on that could take me up out of this place. Because nobody that's in prison really wants to be there, man. Hey, if you could be out here and not in there, it is what it is. Your body and your soul's there, but your mind is somewhere else. So you're already preparing for what you're going to do when you get out. So once you hit the motherfucking concrete, vámonos. You take off running in the menudo style in the fucking the right fashion. Orale, right? So this is what I'm thinking of, and I get the Merced Sunstar one day. And when I get this Merced Sunstar, I notice there's a picture of the vato that I was sold up with. I said, orale, look at the homeboy. He's looking like this. Look. Right? I said, that's not a fucked up picture, but hey, fuck, Mr. Homeboy. I'm already getting ready to cut it out and shit, So I was gonna get my razor and hook it up so I could put it in my little photo album. Man, I did time with this homeboy, right? And then I start reading what he was incarcerated for. And I damn near threw up all over my celly's shoes, right? Because this individual, not only did he have a case that involved assaultive behavior, being caught with weapons and things of that nature, anything any old real motherfucker would have. But this vato, when I seen the word minor, I was like, what? Right? Don't scream with the 1 degree of minor, eh? Says PM. Fuck, eh? His third wish was definitely to rock that world, right? Because I looked at it and he had cases involving minors that were very unbecoming of a normal human being. And I wondered how. How was this vato able to wiggle? What we would have done to them. So I can speak on it. Guard! Can I not talk about it? What we would have done to an individual like this, man, you can only imagine. Whatever you can imagine, times that by 114%, and you understand where I'm coming from. Gangbang, right? We would have did bad things to this individual, man. Very bad things to this dude just based on his crimes and what he ultimately got convicted for. Now, what the fuck was he doing on the block? One of the most treacherous, dangerous blocks to be on with a case like this, and able to wiggle, Holmes, able to slide by. Well, I'm going to tell you what it was. It was that degenerate-ass motherfucker who was running the building at the time who ended up getting whacked in Tracy and getting removed because of some things that he was doing with the homeboys that I'm not even going to speak on, that are fucking weird in themselves. Because these were homeboys from the Calles, because this was his taita, he let this guy pass. He let this guy wiggle. And that's what I mean by individualism and homeboy favoritism, man. There could be vatos lurking in the dirt, lurking and schmirking right around you, homes in the bushes that you don't even know. And this vato could be on GP for the longest of time, righteous ass dude, functioning to the fullest, burpees y todo mine, and the whole time, homes, he done did something bad to his nephew or niece. It's an ugly situation, but he was able to wiggle, and I felt disgusted with myself. I scrubbed my face that night. I got mad, eh? I gave it up to my last apple. Spence on a pinche tira, right? I was pissed because I actually functioned side by side with this guy and was willing to lay my life down for him if it came to that. Everything, all the game he gave me, I said, fuck, I took it out of my brain. Fuck it, flush it down the toilet. I don't give a fuck about this guy. Because that's my intent. That's how I feel about those type of individuals. They got nothing coming. I thought you knew it, fool. You know how we do it, right? Anyone who well, you got to understand, man, it was, the wind was blowing that day. He did. Nah, forget all that. And what was even worse, not only what he done, and of course, makes me want to throw up, but what was even worse in a menudo style was that this fucking degenerate ass dude who was running the block for all the homeboys was letting him slide by over there. You think they found out, eh? That's what they were saying. And now I can read lips. You think they know? They think you know? Nah, I don't know, eh? So hey, I was there that day, remember? You know what I mean? And anyways, it was all bad. And like I said, there's nothing you can do to prevent these types of situations. Human error. People make mistakes. Now, I believe that this wasn't a mistake. I believe that this actually was the homeboy covering up for his homeboy. Or I don't even want to say the homeboy. Fuck him, right? But you know what I'm saying. Now, here's another situation that I got put in where they were able to pull the wool over the wolf's fucking eyes, right? Because if not, I would have huffed and puffed and blew that whole fucking yarda down. You're down, guard! I see it. I'll get there when I get there. So right now, I'm making me a sandwich. You know what I mean? Over there fucking with the Cheetos. Bang, bang. That's how they get down. So trip out. I'm right here posted on this yarda. I'm out of state. I'm posted up and there's this fucking Indio, this vault. And I've told this story before. Let me reiterate it because the wind blows today. He actually became a cool dude with me, man. I remember I hit him up and I need to see your paperwork immediately before I ever function with anyone because I was getting some bad shit happen when I was in California, man. And this dude got by, right? So I'm looking at his paperwork. It says he's in for guns. He got caught with a 9. Oh my, right? Cool, right? So you like to carry guns, don't you, huh? Well, you ain't got no guns in here, but you can hold this pedazo. Well, where do I put it? In your ass. Right, all right, right? So he was cool like that. He gave me a lot of respect just based on how I was from Califas, the way I was rocking, the way I was functioning. I was trying to get that shit together, eh? I was trying to establish. Don't be mad at me for trying to establish a foundation where there was none. That's just what I was trying to do. You know, that's the way I was brought up. That's the way I was educated, indoctrinated to do. And that's what I was trying to do. Did it work out? Not to the best of my abilities, but I tried, right? Some of them bottles just wouldn't take into la onda, right? But I tried, eh? You know what I mean? I tried, Carlos, come back! You know what I mean? It was ugly at points. This bottle ends up getting in a fight right on the basketball court with an Africano. And the Africano puts every piece of his fingertips and toes on this guy. He's beating this guy from one side of the yard to the other before they finally shoot a warning shot and tell him, get your punk asses down, right? And I felt some type of way about this. You know, because it was my partner. It was my homie. It was the dude I was rocking with. Who was getting beat up on. Now, he wasn't a norteño, but he was a sympathizer to the cause. He was definitely someone I could say, here, hold this. Well, where do I put it? I told you already before. Well, fuck, I already got 3 of them, man. Why me? Why not? Right? Go ahead, hold that. So he was being utilized. But at the same time, I did have a lot of love for him, and I was willing to go up to bat for him if I had to. Now, another Africano at the time who was kind of an OG started running his neck. Yeah, beat that Mexican up. Beat that SA up. That's how we get down. I said, hey, hold on now, George Jefferson. Right? Trip out. I ain't wheezy, homie. You know, we've always been cool. To what degree of cool, I can't even spell it. But you're not going to woof on the homeboy because he's over there getting his face made into a mud pie. Right? Now, I understand he's leaking all over the place. And you being on the hazmat team, you're going to have to come clean that song up. But you're not going to woof on him because that's not how I get down. And he was like, you can get it. I said, hey, yeah. Bro, I was on this motherfucker quick. What you mean I can get it too, bro? Those are words I use, right? So I got off, boom, boom, boom. I got the upper hand. The was doing the offense, defense. He backed up, fell. I'm on him. More shots are fired. I'm getting maced up, fogged, gassed, down. On we go. Guard! Why'd you mace me? Bitch, we're fighting. Okay, I agree. Right? And I'm down. I'm handcuffed. The homeboy's like, as we're fucking handcuffed, we're leaving this swamp and we're getting escorted to the oil. He's like, that's what's up, homie. That's what's up. I said, yeah, shh, don't say nothing. Something about the West Coast. Right? So, of course, we walk down these hallways. We walk wherever we go. They take us out of the gates. Take us to the oil. He's about 3 cells down from me. I'm cell, you know, I got my own cell. I get my write-up. He gets his 115, his write-up. To what degree of write-up I get, it's a unilateral assault, meaning that it's not a mutual combat. I assaulted this guy. Now, anyone that knows, man, when you get a unilateral assault, you could possibly pick up a new case. So I'm stressing like a Smith & Wesson. Fuck, I'm in there on my tray 5.7 like, fuck, eh? I'm going to catch more time. Fuck this dude. I shouldn't have backed this plane. I'm all nervous and shit. I just want to go home, man. What did I need to stay? Right? They end up not picking it up, but they end up stretching me out in the oil, right? So I'm doing an 18-month term. I'm going to do about fucking a year in the oil, then they're going to stretch me out to which other places, basically like the shoe, right? It's just ugly. I'm like, fuck, man, all that for this. And the Africano brother, the OG, we get at each other on the tier. He apologizes to me. I take it for a grain of salt, but there's no animosity there. I understand it's all business, nothing personal, man. He just got a little bit out of his realm, and now his nose is different, right? So I'm sitting there like, and I'm not sitting here boasting and bragging like I beat him up, but I did. So I'm just sitting here like this, like, fuck, man, stressing. And a homeboy comes in, a righteous norteño who I knew, and he's like, hey, bro, you know that fucking vato you backed his play? And that vato's still 3 cells down. I said, yeah. He said, trip out on this. Shoots me all kinds of newspaper clippings, all kinds of paperwork, and I almost threw up all over my fucking shower shoes at this point. This vato was in for heinous crimes, man. Again, man, I got caught slipping. Man, like a fat torta, I just want to put the tip in, right? I was like, fuck, eh? Again, I got played out of pocket. Bad judge of character, I guess, right? Whatever the case may be, man, you can't see everything. He hollered down to me, hey, bro, you want to read my magazines? I said, hey, do me a favor, shoot me like 10 softballs. He shot him. I said, you're burnt, bitch, right? Boom. How about that? I shot him the paperwork down. He was like, no, I could explain that. I could explain that. It was my last term. I can explain that. You can't explain that, Holmes. You can't explain anything less than a 10-year-old. There's no way to explain anything over a fucking 70-year-old. It's just, there's no explain. Guard! He wants to explain. Explain to him, not to me. I can't do nothing for you, man. I said, I can't do nothing for you, man. Anyways, just wanted to bring it to your plate because there's people that are incarcerated you think are that real one. You think, oh, he's in the general population. Their over here on the SY, the PC yards, or whatever the case may be. He's a punk, but this one's real. Meanwhile, this one right here, you can't leave your kids around. These ones over here, one never knows, does one. Let me tell you something, man. Don't let people mix you up and trick you, man, because it'll get everybody fooled. And what happens at the end of the day? You go looking like the poop butt. Oh, you was over there kicking it with the old boy, huh? Bro, I didn't know. Shit. You know what I mean? They don't believe you. With that being said, just a couple stories, man. You know what it is. I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, I'm going to spit the realness because I'm the illest. And that's just what we do, man. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe with a thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears Gun's crown. Should I slow it down? Because we can definitely slow it down for you and get deep bass voice like Luther Vandross. The fat one, not the skinny one. You already know what it is, man. Come fuck with your boy, Gunners Collective, Gunners Profiles. We're boom bangling. We're going to make it happen. To all the ladies, like and subscribe. The Gun. Bang, bang.